Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rider Ramblings. I shall try and do part 2 of the how to keep dry on a motorcycle. And it's probably very apt because listening to the weather forecast this morning, she said for our region, it's the first day in a month when we'll have no rain. So rather apt indeed. It is. Anyhow, we left off, I was going to discuss helmets and so on. Now, yes, in general, helmets being a hard shell and so on are going to keep you relatively dry. But there are a couple of problems you need to look out for and think about. The vents, of course, can leak once they get a bit old, but that's just a case of servicing them properly and using a bit of Vaseline or something on the vents. But the big problem is the neck. Between the bottom of the helmet and the collar of your jacket. Now you can buy motorcycle jackets with high collars, and you can also get them with removable collars as well. If you're on a more upright motorcycle, a touring bike, not a sports bike, then having a high collar is probably a good idea, because it'll go up to the bottom of your helmet. Now, I'll put a picture of a removable high collar. I have a one which came off one of my older jackets. But if you don't have an upright motorcycle and you need to be leant forward a bit more or whatever, or you don't have a jacket with a high collar or something like that, well, what can you do? How can you solve this problem? Well, they do actually make a balaclava which has the bottom part is waterproof, and that goes over the top of your jacket usually, so that the rain doesn't come down inside. It's quite large. Again, I'll put a photograph of, I have one. And the top part is, of course, a more normal balaclava. So will go under your helmet. And that's a good idea if you know you're going to be out in the rain for a long time, to wear one of those. That's useful. Well, I think that covers most clothing, but one of the big problems, of course, is heated gloves. Sorry, gloves, not heated gloves. And heated grips. Now, usually quite often when it rains, most people will turn on their heated grips. This is a big no-no, because what actually happens is it draws the water through the impermeable layer, or the membrane. That's what I'm thinking about. And consequently, it makes your hands wet. So it's a good idea not to put heated grips on when it's raining, because it actually reverses the membrane. So if you must have heated hands, use heated gloves. They would probably be the best option there. You can, of course, put over mitts on, and I did discuss that. But what I do, and you've got to be a bit careful with this, is I put a set of latex gloves, surgical gloves, on underneath, and these keep your hands both dry and warm, but you can't use your heated grips, as I say, because it'll just draw the moisture through, and although you have your impermeable barrier, you can't do that. Thank you very much, sir. And if your hands get too warm and start to sweat, then you'll get prune fingers, dead man's fingers. So you need to think about that. So remember to stop regularly on your trip and take your gloves off. The other thing I do is I keep 2 microfiber cloths in the glove box. Now, you might not have a glove box, but I've got 2 on this one and 1 on the other one. And I keep 2 microfiber cloths in the glove box. One is for one is for drying the bike off before I sit on it, as that's quite important. I don't like sitting on a wet bike, so I'll try and dry it off. And the other one is for drying my hands off. Although it's good, you'll never be perfect with that, but it does actually make sure that your hands aren't sopping wet before you put them in the gloves. So it goes some way to keeping the insides of your gloves dry. Now, one of the other things I also carry is 2 large bin bags, and they take up absolutely no space whatsoever, just, you know, tightly rolled up as they came off the roll, and they're under the seat. And this is for dire emergencies, because you do not look pretty wearing these. But in dire emergencies, you can cut a hole in the bottom and 2 holes on the sides and put it on over the top of your jacket. And these things are virtually totally waterproof. Of course, your arms are not going to stay dry, but we've got some idiots, have we? And they will, as I say, help to keep your body, not your arms, but your body dry in a real, I believe this is an American expression, a real frog strangler, a real downpour. You can, of course, do the same for your boots if you wish, with some plastic bags and a couple of rubber bands that will slip over your boots. And that will help to keep your feet dry in really, really dire circumstances. And as I say, plastic bags, you know, take up no room, and even if you don't have any room under your seat, you do have room for plastic bags. So these are something that you can carry. As I said before, if you keep your kit in good order, it tends to also help to keep you dry as well. So that's about it, I think, for keeping dry. I do use the screen on the bike. It does go up and down It's a manual one, this one. It's electric on the other bike. But if you do have a movable screen, then put it up to the top position when it's raining, and you will be protected to a certain extent. But of course, to help aerodynamics, you'll get water coming through this section here and landing right in your lap, which is a fairly standard thing. But use your screen if you've got one. I came off sports bikes, probably the wrong expression, isn't it? I came from sports bikes, and so consequently I prefer the screen in the lower position, and tend to leave it in the lower position, but only raise it when it's very cold or it's raining a lot. Yeah, sorry, wondering what Charlie's doing there. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got the odometer showing on the bike. You might have noticed it's reading, as I speak, 199,051 kilometers, so you probably have guessed why it's showing. I'm waiting for that magic 200,000, and I hope I don't miss it. Knowing me, I will. I'm very good at doing stupid things like that. So anyhow, that's all I wanted to talk about keeping dry on the motorbike. It can be done. You just need to prepare. You don't need expensive kit. I mean, you know, I have been known when I didn't have any money when I first started riding to use the plastic bags a lot. But yes, you can easily keep dry on a motorbike, or relatively dry, if you plan ahead. So thank you very much. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. Please tell me how you keep dry on your bike. What have I missed? What could I do better? That type of thing. Please let me know.